Hey guys. I'm Cheyenne, by the way. I have never filmed my coach story, so I'm kind of freaking out right now, but I'm just really hoping that it'll reach out to somebody. I'm not the typical coach, Beachbody coach that you see. Like most of them are stay-at-home moms who needed some side income or wanted some side income to feel like they were helping with the family's bills, that kind of stuff. I'm definitely not a mom. My goal is one day to be a mom and to be a stay-at-home mom, but I'm not at that point in my life right now. I have been married for a little over a year and a half, so almost 2 years. My husband and I are both full-time students at UVU, and we both work full-time. So honestly, I would never in a million years say that we have been struggling financially. We have been incredibly, incredibly blessed when it comes to finances. We just moved in August to our first home. It's a townhome, but it's ours. We're not renting anymore. And that alone is a huge blessing. So, like I said, I would never ever say that we've struggled financially. So, I just kind of want to share my story. I have sticky notes because I just have so many thoughts running through my head that I want to make sure that I really get my story out there. So like I said, we've been married for about a little over a year and a half. And about a month after getting married, I was just completely apathetic about everything. I had no emotion. A month after getting married, you guys. Like, that should be the most exciting time of your life. But I am a person that needs change every once in a while. And we were just in the same routine every single day. Get up, go to work, go to school, come home, do homework, go to bed, get up the next morning and do the same exact thing. And we'd been in this routine for so long that because we'd only been married for a month, but even before that, we were still in that routine. So I was just getting very discouraged, very, oh, what's the point kind of thing. And it was really hard. My grandma came and took me to lunch one day, and she was like, what? Like, what's going on? She was like, you are a month married, and I hadn't even said anything to her. She could just tell that something was off. So after that talk, I knew that I needed to do something, but I had no idea what. I was a full-time student. I was working full-time. I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of let it slide, took it as I need to change my attitude, and moved on with life. So, and when you first get married, not only is it like a huge adjustment, but honestly it's kind of lonely because you're kind of stuck in the middle unless you already have married friends. We had one other couple that were married friends. They were some of my husband's best friends from high school, but that was it. And where we were both full-time working, full-time school, it's not like we could go hang out with them. So it was a really lonely time for us and just super busy. So fast forward a year to this year, beginning of this year, I had gained about 10 pounds, newly married, that's what happens. And I'm really short, I'm 5 foot, so 10 pounds is a lot, it shows. I was completely falling apart. I had no motivation. I was always tired. I was to the point that I would wake up 10 minutes before I needed to be to work and barely make it, and then come home and go right back to bed. I had no motivation for anything. Our marriage was it was on the rocks, and at one point we honestly considered starting to go to counseling because it was so rough. And that was really hard for me. I'm a psych major, so to be a psych major and to consider going to counseling with your husband it's hard. So I was having weekly anxiety attacks, if not more than that. Probably a lot more than I actually realized. We would have our friends invite us to go on date nights on the weekends, and I would say yes because I knew that we needed to, not because I wanted to. We would go, and I would have a complete freak out. I couldn't handle it. So we were honestly to the point that we couldn't leave our apartment because I would have anxiety attacks anytime we left it. Beginning of the year, I made a post on Instagram that this was going to be my year that I changed. I didn't know how. I didn't know what that meant, but I knew that something needed to change. So my husband, bless his heart, would try and push me out of my comfort zone to do things, but him pushing me just made me push back even more and recluse inside of myself even more. So I think it was about the beginning of the year that my coach followed me on Instagram. She commented on a couple of my posts, and that's it. And from that point on, I watched her every single day. I watched her do her workouts. I watched her play with her kids. I watched her with everything. And finally, I reached out to her in March, so about 8 months ago. 8 months ago? 7 months ago? Whatever. And I said, what is it that you're doing? I need something. And she explained it to me, and she said, do you have a desire to help people? Guys, I'm a psych major. That's honestly the only reason I am a psych major is because all I want to do is help people. I honestly don't want to get my master's degree. And with a psych major, you can't do anything unless you have a master's degree. So so I was like, yeah, that's my number one motivation in life is to help people. But at the way that I am right now, having constant anxiety attacks, being scared of people, I can't help people. I'm not in the state to be able to do that. So, she explained everything to me. She got me into one of these sneak peek groups. And I said, okay, well, I need to talk to my husband about it. And I fully 100% expected him to say no. And that was going to be my way out. And he was like, no, let's do it. And I was like, are you serious? You really want me to do this? And he's like, yeah, let's try it. So he's like, if you will stick to it, then we'll try it. I said, okay. So I signed up as a coach because I needed the accountability. I needed something to keep me going because I knew that if I didn't, I would go and I would start for 2 months and then I would just let go of it. Because the entire time we'd been married, we had set so many fitness goals and none of them ever came true. So I started in March. I was still a full-time student. I was still working full-time. I was overwhelmed as crap when I started, if I'm being completely honest. It was hard. And the thought came to me multiple times, why am I doing this? I can't be doing this. I'm already too busy. I don't have the time to devote to it like these stay-at-home moms do. And then I helped my first customer. And that right there changed everything for me. The joy and the happiness that came to me when I was able to help that person start on their fitness journey was so overwhelming and so much greater than any of the negativity or any of the denials that I had gotten before that point. So now, pushing for that one yes out of the hundreds of no's that I get that's what's worth it to me. I could care less about the hundreds of no's that I get, because I know that those people are going to come back around eventually, because this is something that everybody wants. I don't care who you are. You want to feel good in your body. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't love your body the way that it is. Absolutely 100% love your body the way that it is. But to feel healthy, to have energy, to just have this greater positive outlook on life, to have this community surrounding you that is so positive and so uplifting, it is absolutely life-changing, you guys. So I explained to my coach, I said, yeah, like, I'm a psych major, I want to help people, and what better way to do that than this? It'll give me extra income so that when we do have kids, I can stay home with them. Like, I had major goals right off the bat. So I continued pushing forward. It got hard. I wanted to quit. I didn't quit because I knew that I needed this. So my husband and I decided to buy our house, and I was honestly terrified. Our mortgage ended up being a little bit more than what we had expected it to be. And I was really, really worried that the first thing to go was going to be my coaching if we weren't able to make ends meet. So I remember we were driving down the freeway one day. I remember this moment to a T. And I was talking to my husband, and I said, "Can I ask you a question?" He said, "Yeah, of course." And I said, "If we move into the house and things aren't working, we're not able to make ends meet, is my coaching going to be the first thing to go?" And he looked at me and he said, "Absolutely not." He said, "The changes that I have seen in you in the last however long it was at that point have been absolutely priceless. I would never make you quit your coaching unless you absolutely wanted to." He said, I would sell both of our vehicles before I made you quit coaching if we weren't making ends meet. And that right there gave me, because he was skeptical when I started this. He was skeptical of it all. He still has moments that he's skeptical of it all. But the changes that he's seen inside of me, mentally, physically, emotionally, in every way, have made it completely worth it. And that's what I want you guys to realize, is this is so much more than just a physical journey. This changes you in every single way possible. And I don't know where I would be at this point. I don't know if I would still be married at this point if I hadn't jumped in on this and taken that terrifying fear and pushed it aside and said, I'm going to do this. I believed in myself for the first time in I don't know how long. I gave myself that push to step outside of my comfort zone. And daily as a coach, you step out of your comfort zone, because that's where the growth happens. You have to. There's no other way. And you're going to find the most happiness out of it. I can promise you that. I don't have words to express how amazing this coaching opportunity has been for me. So I'm pushing to make X amount of dollars so that I can quit my job, so that we can start a family and that I can still contribute to our bills. I have these goals and I know that I can achieve them because I have the support around me from my husband and from my team. And it's just been incredible. So I've talked for way longer than I wanted to, but I hope that you guys got something out of this and realize that you're never too busy for it if you actually want it, and that you can always make time for it. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the sneak peek. Ask us any questions that you guys have. Guys, we're all open books and we're here to help you. So see you guys.